Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome back to Out of Bounds. I don't know if this is going to be recurring, but we brought this back last week to talk about the WNBA. Well, actually, it wasn't the WNBA. Oh, you guys weren't even in here. What did we talk about last week? Just the start of the playoffs, the play-in tournament, and that? Okay. Yeah, the preview thing, and we're kind of going to talk about that a little bit, but we're also going to talk about the NFL draft that comes up tomorrow. So we're going to do a little mini mock draft and look at what CBS said and kind of just judge them, because they had two people do it and posted both of theirs, and some of their takes are a little outrageous, but let's start with basketball first, because all that stuff just happened last night. Let's talk about the Suns-Tims game last night. What did you you have any thoughts?
Durant and Nurkic and Beal are doing their thing. They're putting up points, but it obviously shows in the past two games that that's not going to get done. They've lost, I don't know how much they lost the first game by, but the second game they lost by 12.
Yeah.
And it's just the Timberwolves obviously are just too much of a complete team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Making that trade for Gobert.
Yeah.
It just fills in for all, because Cat is a good defensive player, but
how does this KD trade look now? What's the next for the Suns?
I just want to say I called it.
I feel like their time is almost coming up. Their title time.
This should be their time. I think KD's cursed.
I think this is their best season.
I wonder if
their best chance they're gonna get in a while.
If they don't win anything, will maybe Booker want to be out? Will he want to be out of Phoenix?
What their
maybe.
team is really missing is a playmaking point guard.
Yeah.
A point guard that can run the offense. They have.
Is that Grayson Allen? They have Grayson Allen.
Yeah, they have Bradley Beal as their point guard right now.
Yeah, Booker, Beal, Nurkic, and Durant.
Booker's not a bad playmaker, but there's so many better passers that you can have that fluctuate the offense more than what Bradley Beal can do.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they sign Allen? Sorry, didn't they sign Allen to a contract extension too? I think
Allen?
They paid him more too, and he only put up 3 points last night.
Yeah, isn't he the dirtiest player in the league as well?
Yeah, but he is a pretty good 3-point shooter when they need him. Yeah.
He had a bad shooting
night. He didn't take any shots.
Yeah,
he only shot 6 for 15, and Jaden McDaniels was guarding him the whole time.
Beal had an atrocious.
And then Jaden McDaniels had 25 points himself on the other end and clamped up KD in the same game.
It just
is he a secret diamond? Do you think? Wasn't he a second-round pick?
I think so. Yeah.
But he has a
underrated
twin brother in the league.
He does.
Too.
Jalen McDaniels. It's Jaden and Jalen, right?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
It's confusing. It just seems intentionally confusing.
Yeah, you should make it easier for us. No, but Beal shot 6 for 17
Mike Conley, 7 for 13.
Yeah.
38-year-old Mike Conley.
Underrated king.
Still putting up 18 points.
Well, how did they get him from the Jazz?
I know.
Yeah. But, the Suns have to make adjustments, or else they could be out of the playoffs
as Phoenix,
as soon as they got in. Yeah, that's true.
It's coming back to Phoenix. So they have to win both.
If they want to swing a momentum for sure, to have the crowd
they got to come with a different mindset.
Yeah.
They're not coming back.
They're already in a bad spot right now, and I think it's a rough road ahead for them.
The Timberwolves are a very unforgiving team too. They're not gonna
No, they've had a great regular season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They almost had the 1 seed.
They
were the 1 seed at the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're great on offense, great on defense.
They're fully healthy right now.
They're a full team. Their efficiency is really what closed that game out. Because, you could see Phoenix was taking and missing a lot of shots with Beal and Durant, obviously, and there was only 2 players that did.
If they can win a game with their best player shooting 3 for 12 in a playoff game, that's shows how good their whole roster is.
Shows how complete they are as a team.
They had a terrible night, and they still won the game. They can still win games when their best player does bad.
They also have a way more full bench. T.J. Warren didn't do anything, but if they were to play him, he could help out. Bubble T.J. Warren's literally, oh my god.
He used to drop 50 points
Bubble T.J. was an absolute
He's always been a good, solid rotational piece.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so I think I missed something in the Tims trade. I didn't even know they got Mike Conley. Did they get him with Gobert?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
What did the Jazz get back?
I think he's got first-round picks.
Gigantic fleece, it seems, because they're terrible.
What an awful trade. Wow. Anyways, yeah.
Hey, the Pacers tied it up.
Ethan's happy about that. He posted 5 things on Instagram just about it. Oh my gosh.
Pascal Siakam showing that he
put on a clinic.
Very good pickup for Indiana.
37-point triple-double.
11 assists.
11 rebounds, not a triple-double, my bad. Yeah.
37 points.
It was a good choice for him to get out of Toronto because I think they're about to start a rebuild thing. I mean, they have Barnes, but I don't know how much longer he would want to stay there.
Even
Cause,
Halliburton had a bad night.
yeah.
4 for 10, 12 points.
Yeah, and they still
Miles
still had
Turner had
120.
22.
Especially in the second half of the season after the All-Star break, we've kind of seen Halliburton can show some inconsistency.
Yeah, he had a lot of rough stretches after the All-Star break, a lot of bad shooting stretches.
Like, he was an MVP candidate
Like
in
the
the
first
beginning.
half of the
Yeah,
season,
in the
he
first
was
half.
like, he was shooting almost like 50, 40, 90.
Yeah, getting
And
like,
like 11 assists a
yeah,
game.
crazy stat
I mean, he
line.
still got
Crazy
12
dude, like-
assists today. Like, he's going to get those assists. That's no problem. But, like,
The
This-
Kings just trade away everyone that could help them win.
Yeah.
well, like, Sabonis has been good for them.
Sabonis has been really good. I mean, they're in the playoffs this year, right? They were doing well.
They were.
Mhm.
They were
Oh,
in
they
the
were in the
play-in.
play-in?
They lost in the play-in.
Yeah.
But like he put up a good fight. Like him and I can't remember who their point guard is. Is it Mitchell? Davion Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
They make a pretty good duo. Maybe they're very young right now, but like, I mean, Halliburton could have been huge for them. They traded him away for Sabonis, but he's been good.
It's got to be kind of disappointing for Kings fans. I mean, your team is doing better.
It's the worst
Did
After
management.
Giannis
so many
play
years.
yesterday?
Who?
Did Giannis play yesterday?
I'm not.
I don't know. I don't see
I
him.
don't
I don't
see
think he
him.
played. No, he did not.
I didn't even
Lillard
notice.
showed out though. 34 shot 6 3 or shot 13 made 6 threes.
I mean, that's why.
That's good percentage.
That is why they
That's
did
He
get
had
him,
25 in the first half.
He had 25 in the
Yeah,
first half.
first half he had
Jeez.
25, so he only had 9. in
But the
second
thing, I think what made the Bucks lose, and it's not a necessarily bad thing, but they're reaching too deep into their bench. They're pulling out players that aren't really playoff players. They don't have any experience when they should be focusing on making
Well, I think
sure players like Lillard.
That's
and
gonna
Beverly-
happen more when your Giannis is out.
Well, that's true,
They're
yeah, when
looking for
Giannis
more
is out.
players to step up, and
Yeah.
what players are actually gonna.
But they didn't even play Gallinari. Like, as they wanted a power forward, they didn't play their power forward.
They didn't even play Thanasis.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
should
give Thanasis some.
Put him in.
minutes.
Thanasis
Give him some
is
time.
trash.
He's the future
The
goat.
Nasus is hot garbage.
They gotta play. Have you seen the clips of him like picking Giannis's nose?
Oh my
Yeah, oh
god.
my
Like he
God.
sits on the bench. He's like a cheerleader. But
he's literally like Giannis is his glorious game.
I saw though that I don't know if it was with like Adidas or Nike that Giannis didn't sign with them because they didn't sign with his brother, which is kind of cool. Because I mean, I
You have
guess
to
it's
get a shoe deal with
I
Thanasis.
being loyal.
Didn't he have two brothers in the league? The other one like dropped.
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah. It's like
Alec
He's with the Bulls
Yeah.
right now.
yeah.
Oh,
I remember
okay.
that he was.
Costas.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Costas.
Yeah.
He
dude.
won a ring with the Lakers.
I literally like when playing my
Future Hall
league,
of
I would
Famer.
pick them up just because they were related to
He's
Giannis.
got more.
I think the Bulls, I think that's what they did.
Yeah.
Was they picked up him.
Go
trying
for
to
the superstar
entice
gene.
Giannis, and then all of a sudden he signed that extension at the beginning of the year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The five was a.
They have. He has
Yeah.
another brother named Alex that plays for like the Pacers G League team.
Jeez.
Dude,
Yeah, they
he's
have brothers all over.
yeah.
The league.
Oh my gosh.
So the other game, the Nuggets game, the other day we had a buzzer beater,
Oh
and
my
our
gosh.
teacher, Mr. Harvoth, was
Jamal
like,
Murray.
he was pulling up the footage about how there were a bunch of missed fouls and the refs were
That
complaining.
was the next one.
Yeah, and the Lakers were complaining about a missed foul too, and it's like you're up by 20 though. It's kind of tough. Don't
Yeah.
don't blame the ref if you're
But
choking a
what
20-point
he's pointing
lead.
out is when the Nuggets challenged
I
a
saw-
foul
yeah.
they called on D'Lo.
Mm-hmm.
When he shoots the layup and then he gets slapped over the face.
Yeah.
And then they go in the replay center and then they say it's not a foul when
Yeah.
he clearly got slapped in the
Yeah.
face. That's what he's referencing there.
Mhm.
It was a very odd
With, like, 2
overturn,
minutes left
I
in
would
the
say.
game.
Yeah.
They called it no foul and they took away. They kept the basket, but they called no foul.
I would say I get the whole like being angry that it got overturned, but I would just say like maybe worry about keeping like a 20-point lead against
Right.
against like a team like the Nuggets, you know?
Right.
But-
Like just shut down Jamal Murray. I mean,
Jamal
like,
Murray
Jokic,
was
he had
shut
a
down,
horrible
though.
first half. Yeah.
Jamal Murray was shot 9 for 24 the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't do great until that fourth quarter when he picked it up really heavily.
There's been
Like,
a lot of
especially
good
in clutch
defense in
time.
the playoffs so far.
Yeah, low scoring
Yeah.
games like the Cavalier versus Magic series, both games I don't even think have gotten to 100. Don't quote me on
the
that, but I'm
Dallas
pretty
game
sure.
Last night was 96.
Yeah,
93.
yeah, it's like 2008 basketball.
It's
Dude,
been
but-
yeah.
Luka and Kyrie, man, when they're good together, they look so fun.
Oh.
They're so fun to watch when they play
For
together.
sure.
It's just the mentality they have. Like, they're just so happy to be there.
Yeah, and like Luka actually appreciates Kyrie so much. He praises him all the time. You can tell they genuinely like have a good bond with each other.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're just two guys. I mean, this isn't just their 9 to 5.
Like Jokic, where he wants to go back and ride his horses.
He's like,
Kawhi had a rough
no
first game back from injury.
Oh, yeah.
He
They-
looked kind of rusty out there from injury.
I don't even think he's superstar caliber anymore. He hasn't been since, like, the first year of his trade, and even then he was injured again. He's just getting injured so often. Like, it's hard to picture him as someone who can contribute heavily
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he's always on
Harden's
the
been
bench
kind of
nowadays.
carrying the load a little bit. He had
For
28 for the Clippers.
Oh.
He had 28 in the first. He had 28 in their first game in their win, and then this game he had 22, which tied the team high with him and Paul George.
I could see this Dallas LA game series going to a game 7
Oh yeah,
for
this
sure.
series is gonna be so fun to watch.
It's gonna be, yeah.
Both
it's gonna be a
teams
great
seem to be
series.
pretty even and are
Yeah.
competitive in both games. But
I
mean,
forgot they also had Russell Westbrook
yeah, he's
coming off the bench.
he's been quietly pretty good though coming off.
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
bench.
he's been solid. I mean,
had
last
a-
night he had a rough night.
Yeah, he had a
2 for
rough
9,
night.
but-
The first game he had like 14 points, so like he still can be a backup point guard, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
I feel like at this stage of the career, and he'll tell you this too, of his career, he's better coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Like,
He's better as like a Draymond Green kind of player. Like, just he's like a team player. He's very hype all the time, high energy.
Yeah, he could still drive to the rim. Like you're still
Mhm.
gonna have to worry about that. Like he could still play make, get rebounds, play good defense. Like he can still provide all that,
yeah,
and he has a like his mindset and like
Yeah.
his experience.
well, we got 2 games today. It's the Heat and the Celtics, which I don't.
Back at it.
The both first seed and AC.
Yeah, yeah, and Pelicans Thunder, which I've seen some people say that the Thunder are already frauds. I don't agree with it. Of them,
Well, that
s-
first
SGA
game,
has been-
that
how are they
first game
playing?
was pretty close, and they didn't even
yeah,
have Zion.
they didn't even have Zion, and it was at OKC too. So I mean, maybe the Pelicans could do an upset.
I think
You never
I
know.
don't know,
maybe.
I think the Thunder got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the Thunder have it in the bag.
And
at-
I think
at
Boston
least
have it
for-
in the bag.
Oh,
both
yeah.
these
Yeah.
are kind of like both ACs are dealing with like one of their best players being injured right
Yeah,
now.
no playoff Jimmy either. For
That sucks.
I don't know how long he's out for a few weeks
Yeah.
at least.
So
Isn't
they'd
he?
have to get past this series. I'm pretty sure for him to come back, and that's gonna be
that
not happening.
Yeah.
because the Celtics are fully healthy, aren't they? Yeah.
they're really good this
Yeah,
year.
they're gonna make a deep.
They
run
added
for
Drew
sure.
Holiday and Kristaps.
Drew Holiday's been huge for them. He's just such a great like defensive like presence is what I
Yeah.
was thinking of. Like he's just having him like you think you're gonna get the ball picked.
I
when
f-
he's in front of you.
I feel like there's so much pressure on the Celtics and Tatum too to finally win a chip this year.
because they failed. They went to the finals
mean,
that
Tatum's
one
still
year,
only
and
19,
then they
so-
lost to the Warriors.
He's only 19 years old,
Yeah,
just got to
Tatum's
the
just
league.
a 19-year-old kid from
And
Boston.
then Jalen Brown's getting like the highest paid player in the league right now.
Well,
So,
yeah, kind of
That's just crazy.
a little undeserved, I would say, but he's a
He can't
really
even go
good
left.
player.
Yeah,
He has no left
he's
hand.
and he has days where he's just
Have
like
you seen
super
that video where he
quiet too.
shoots like the layups with the left hand? He misses
Yeah.
like 4 in a row.
He's an odd player, but apparently
He's good though.
he's
good.
super smart too. Like he's one of the smartest
Really?
players.
Mm.
He could have gone
Is
to
it-
like an Ivy school
Oh, okay.
because he's like got a super
like,
high
like a
IQ.
full-
I
you
like
know?
Payne
Yeah.
Pritchard too.
Yeah.
Payne
Payne
Pritchard. I
Pritchard,
like
yeah.
Payne
Pritchard's a
Pritchard.
That's a
dog.
good pickup. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a good 3-point shooter.
I'm just saying they have a lot of good players on that team that are
Mhm.
solid, and they're coached really well.
Yeah, absolutely. They're
Yeah.
very like defensively well conditioned and all that stuff. But
I mean, the Thunder though, Thunder versus
I don't,
Pelicans.
yeah, I don't know about calling them frauds. I mean,
No,
like SGA, they're all young. Like this is their
Yeah.
first year being. They're the first seed. Like
No
they
one
have-
expected that. Dude.
No,
I
no one
still
expected
can't
it.
believe
SGA
they're the
literally
first
might
seed.
win MVP for this. Like if they make it deeper in the playoffs.
Their coach already won Coach of the Year. Like,
Yeah.
this is
Mhm.
a crazy season for them.
which speaking of the awards, I think the news came out yesterday that
Oh, God, here we go.
who was it?
Tyrese Maxey. won
Tyrese
most of them.
Maxey won.
It should have been Kobe White.
I think Kobe White was
should've been
snubbed
Kobe
for
White.
Most
sure.
improved?
It was snubbed. Yeah,
It
most
should've been
improved.
Kobe
Oh yeah,
White.
I
feel
think
like
you could make an
Maxey's-
argument for either of them. Like Maxey was already a good player.
He was
That's
already
what I'm
good
saying, he
last
was
year.
already
Yeah,
good
Yeah, but
last
he
year.
wasn't like this. Like this is.
He's having like an
crazy.
all-star
Yeah.
season, but like Kobe White was still like finding his groove.
yeah.
Mhm.
and we didn't know what he really was at one
He
point.
did have a great night in the play-in tournament. The
Yeah.
first game, he was it 30 or was it 41? Yeah, 41. He got a great game. I mean, he shot well that game too.
I mean, Kobe White was carrying a team that didn't have a Levine, was formerly carried by an old DeRozan, so someone had to step up.
And before that, a young Butler.
Yeah,
He literally
yeah,
averaged 9.7 points last year.
yeah.
He's
And now what
averaging
is it?
19 right now.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
That's a 10-point swing right there.
that's a complete snub. Like,
It's like we get no love. Like Chicago gets no love.
honestly,
At some
people
point.
need to love the Bulls.
And like he's gotten better with a decent team around him too. Like it's not like all the good players left and he just filled in a role.
Mhm.
Like he's just improved.
Yeah.
Oh, after,
It'll be interesting to see what the Bulls do with next year with that team.
yeah, I wonder if they'll like
I
blow
think
it up.
needs to be. I think they gotta tear it down.
Again, yeah, they've been stuck
They
in
gotta
this
tear it
rebuilding
down.
phase since
They gotta
Butler
tear it down
left.
like the White Sox tore it down.
I mean,
it's not
we-
gonna be pretty, but it's gonna have
Problem
to.
is with the NBA rules, you can't tear it down like you can in baseball.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it's they don't have the cap room unless they trade Levine to somebody who has a crap ton of cap room.
Yeah, and Levine, I mean, he's getting older. He's gonna lose a lot of his trade value here in the next couple
There
of
were
years.
there were rumors early in the season too, like heavy rumors that he would be traded, and that never happened.
Yeah.
To like the Lakers maybe or something.
They're saying like an RJ Barrett trade.
Yeah, but they're still
RJ
paying Lonzo to be
RJ Barrett's
injured.
on the
So mad.
Raptors.
He
It's
makes me
weird.
so mad.
It's so weird he's on the
They have
Raptors.
sat there with him on that roster for 2 years.
Is crazy. This has
Dude,
to be
his first 2 surgeries were unsuccessful. Both, I don't know who the doctor was, but his first 2 surgeries were both unsuccessful. How do you mess up the
Get him
ACL
off the
surgery
hospital.
the first 2 tries?
And I think didn't they give him a surgery that no one's done before too? Like some,
No, he was in bad shape
Yeah.
before that.
yeah.
He took, and it was a torn meniscus. I seen last year a player came back in 3 months off a torn meniscus in the NBA. I don't know what happened
Yeah.
with us.
Supposedly he had nerve damage in there too. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And if you guys remember football with Peyton Manning, they thought Peyton was going to be done because of the nerve damage in his arm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, I was talking with my friend about how promising they were when they had that whole
Remember
core
the-
together.
Oh
Who
my
would've
gosh.
thought that Lonzo Ball
Yeah.
was the glue
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that team.
They
his
were
playmaking, his shooting, his defending.
had a
We were the number 1 seed.
number 1 seed, I think maybe a top 2 or 3 record in the league.
Yeah.
And the most exciting team in the NBA to watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
for
They
sure.
were insane.
Great defense,
The
good
lobs,
offense too.
the
Yeah.
full court passes Lonzo had.
And then it just kept going down. Like
Yeah, after the injury, we were never the same.
it was like DeMar, he almost was playing MVP level that season. He was getting buzzer beaters. He was getting like averaging 25 points. It was crazy,
He was,
but
yeah, he was playing incredibly over that little season. But yeah. Got any more other points you want to mention?
not really. I mean,
think we
it should
covered
be
everything.
should be a fun playoffs, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
I'm
gonna be
ready
a
for
great
what
time.
comes up next.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the NFL draft. We're going to hit up a little mock draft. But before that, see you in just a little bit. Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to Out of Bounds. We just finished talking about all the stuff that happened in the NBA last night, what's happening tomorrow, what happened on Tuesday. Yesterday was Tuesday, what happened on Monday. But now we're going to switch topics to the NFL mock draft, because the first round of the draft is coming up tomorrow. 2 and 3 are coming on Friday, and 4 through 7 are coming on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a busy weekend for us.
Yeah.
Thinking,
Yeah.
But all right, so I think we'll start with Anthony, because Anthony said he's got his own mock draft in his head. So you want to go through, just say your number one real quick.
Well,
I mean,
everyone's
obviously.
number one.
Yeah.
This is like
Of course,
Caleb
it's-
Williams.
yeah.
Everyone
Caleb
has. He's one of the best quarterback prospects I think we've seen since almost Trevor Lawrence. I think he's almost better than Trevor Lawrence.
He had 3,600 yards last year. Year before that, 4,500. Yeah, 4,500.
He won a Heisman.
He's been playing just crazy. I mean, his touchdowns dropped a lot, but I think his minutes also dropped.
He was able to take a USC team that had a terrible defense, that lost him a lot of games.
Their defense was
Last
so
year.
bad.
It was brutal. I watched some of their games just to scout out
Yeah.
Williams.
The Pac-12 in general just can't play
Yeah,
defense.
yeah.
No
It
one
was
team in
rough
that
for them.
division can play defense really.
You know, the craziest part about it is I was very much against the Bears drafting Williams because it scares me because how so many people say he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
And it never works out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Then I watched that bowl game that he sat out, and I watched what happened to that USC team after
Yeah.
he sat out, and I'm going, okay, maybe there's something to this kid.
He's a
then.
difference
Yeah.
maker.
Yeah. But
Now, let me ask you this. You
Mhm.
said it's a guarantee, which it pretty much is.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed that he's
Everyone's
going
gotta
number
go
one.
number one.
What do you do if the Bears trade, just throw everybody for a
There's
loop
no
tonight
way.
and trade?
Who would they even trade for?
They trade back maybe a spot.
I
I
would
think they
probably
probably trade
start
back
to
Yeah,
to
but
go
who would
Washington.
they get from
the Colts.
The
Who would
Washington,
they get from
because Washington, their offensive coordinator is Cliff Kingsbury, and he was like the QB coach for the USC last year for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So that could make sense, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They seem pretty set in stone on Jaden Daniels.
I'd probably.
Even though Jaden Daniels' camp has not really been liking Washington,
Yeah.
like his agents.
Flat out, come on, said it.
Yeah.
The agent, come on. Why would you do that?
That's like such bad business, but I don't know.
It's already not having a good relationship with the owners in the team before you even get there.
And they just got a new GM this year, so And
It's
then
new
new-
GM, new coach this year, right?
Yeah. New GM, new coaching staff. It's new era.
Because then they fire Rivera, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they fired Rivera.
So we got obviously Williams one.
I got Jaden too.
Yeah, Jaden's two.
Of course.
And
we
I
got so many
think
quarterbacks in
That's
this
the wrong
first 10.
pick, though.
You
I
think
think
so?
I think it should be Drake May. number
Really?
2.
You think Drake May should go over Jaden
Drake
Daniels?
May every year in college has put up a good offensive season. Literally,
Jaden Daniels, his second year had a bad.
literally, Drake May last year, not this season, but the year before that, he led his team in rushing touchdowns as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he has a Josh Allen type
Mhm.
as to him. Like he can make plays out of structure. He's super accurate. He's made
But he's
every
also
NFL
so young.
throw. Yeah,
He's
he's
so-
still
he's a
super young.
sophomore.
Yeah.
This has been Jaden Daniels' first year since he's shown something.
Mhm.
And this LSU team has 2 first-round pick receivers projected. Malik Neighbors is supposed to go top 10, and Brian Thomas is supposed to go in the first round. So he had 2 amazing receivers to play with.
So let me ask you this: Is Jaden the this year's Anthony Richardson?
No, I think Richardson was a better prospect. 'Cause-
Really?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Richardson was. Because I think
All right.
Where did
Richardson-
Richardson go again?
Florida.
Florida? Okay.
He-
Because
then
at
he
the
went to
beginning of
University
the of
Colts,
when this whole thing started, Jaden Daniels wasn't the number 2 pick.
No.
It was Drake May.
Mhm.
It was going to be Drake May, then probably Jaden with
Right.
the Patriots.
And then all of a sudden, somewhere along the line, it flipped.
There's a lot of smoke screens, though, we have to look out for. Every year there's smoke screens. I think J.J. McCarthy is a big smoke screen right now. I don't think he'll go top 10. I think it's all a smoke screen. I don't think there's no way.
Someone thinks he's going to
There's
go
no
third.
way you should spend
Yeah.
a top 10 overall pick
Yeah.
on a team that was winning in spite of him.
Mm-hmm.
They had a great defense
Oh,
and a great
amazing.
running game. Blake Corum
Blake Corum's
almost won the Heisman 2
crazy
years
good.
ago.
Yeah.
Like he was almost in the Heisman voting for that. Like they had a great run game. They had a great defense. Like I think they were winning in spite of J.J. McCarthy at sometimes.
What do you
when do the Chargers pick?
6. Wait,
6?
I think so. I think it's 6.
Yeah.
One of
Okay.
these has.
Because I keep hearing
They
these
pick at 5. They pick at
5.
5.
I keep hearing these smoke screens that Harbaugh's considering trading Herbert for a haul and picking a quarterback.
McCarthy.
And I'm going, oh no,
Yeah.
That's
that
not
would
what
be
not-
bad.
That'd be a generational fumble.
Uh-huh.
Because they already have no receivers. Like, they have no receivers on the team at all right now.
Well, yeah. Now one of them's on the Bears.
Yeah, they lost Keenan Allen, and then Mike Williams, who was one of their good receivers, is on the Jets now. So, like, they have literally no one there at all to throw to. So they need to spend this 5th overall pick on a receiver. If that's Marvin Harrison, if he
I
somehow
was
gets
gonna
past
say,
the
yeah,
Cardinals,
If the Cardinals don't pick him up,
I
they
think
should.
I think he's a Cardinal.
But the Cardinals are in the same boat. Although they might be a little bit better receiver wise, but not by much.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, every little bit helps. If you
I
can
think,
get it, you can get
especially
a great
Marvin
receiver.
Harrison is, I think, one of the more generational prospects. I think
Yeah.
he's the best player in the whole draft.
He's but of course the quarterback's going to go first because
Yeah,
that's
well-
the team centerpiece. But
Well, yeah, that's
he's
what the
definitely-
Bears need right now.
When was the last time a non-quarterback was drafted first overall?
The Jaguars did it like a few years ago. Trayvon Walker, a DN out of Georgia, he was
okay.
drafted number 1.
Okay.
He's one of the most forgotten first overall
Yeah.
picks.
Yeah.
Trayvon Walker, yeah.
I mean, who do we think could be in the NFL like contenders this year? Obviously, we have the Chiefs who showed that they can win a world
I
title.
think the Chiefs are gonna have to go receiver this year.
Yeah, with a weakened team
'Cause
too.
you already,
Yeah, talk about a team that has no receivers.
yeah. Well, you got
Yeah.
Rashee Rice, and they said he's gonna fear a multi-game suspension for what he's.
not gonna be around.
Yeah, so
I mean, what are the Bills gonna do?
the
Like,
Bills got to go receiver
Oh
too.
my
They have
goodness.
no one either.
like
They
who's
really need to go receiver.
who's Allen gonna
Where
throw
the
to?
Bills
No
draft?
one.
They end of the first.
They're late, aren't they?
Yeah.
They got pick
ooh.
28, but
They're going to miss a lot
I'll-
of the.
what?
Do they trade up?
What's one good thing about this
I
draft, though?
I
This
think they
draft
will.
has a lot of good receivers. This draft is deep in receivers.
Yeah.
Like, even into, like, the 2nd, 3rd round, you could find a receiver 1 in this draft. So I think they could stay and pick and still find a receiver.
Who's
that's-
Buffalo's top? Because they got rid of Diggs.
Dude, I think it might be, like...
I'm
And
saying,
Gabe
I-
Davis is gone. He
Yeah.
went to Jacksonville.
I mean,
It's
they-
like Khalil Shakir, and he's, like, a rookie. That played,
Right.
like,
That's
they
rough.
have no one.
That's really
They,
rough.
I wonder if they look to trade up.
Yeah.
They got Kincaid. He's a good tight end they drafted last year.
Yeah,
He's a first
yeah,
round
he's
tight
good.
end. But, like...
Here, let me.
Because I wonder if
Find
they
their
look to
depth
trade
chart.
up to try and get a
And then they
Dunze.
lost Tre'Davious White, their corner.
Yeah,
Their corner, he went to
that's
the
right.
Rams.
Yeah. Khalil Shakir is gonna be
Yeah,
their
their
number one receiver.
receiver 1 right now.
Curtis Samuel and Mac.
Oh, they
Like,
signed
that's
Curtis
rough.
Samuel.
Oh, that's right.
Curtis Samuel was actually good on the Panthers.
Yeah.
He's actually a good player. Like, he's not a receiver 1. They still need a lot more than that.
I mean, what a signing for the Texans, though. They'll be a really fun team
Oh,
to
the
watch.
Texans are gonna be so fun to watch
With
next year.
Stroud showing
Yeah, I
they
was
can
gonna say
carry
they
a
got Stroud,
team.
too.
And then they got Stroud. They traded for Joe Mixon.
It should be a fun
Traded for
team for
Diggs.
them.
Then you got Nico Collins, who already looked like a receiver 1 last
Yeah.
year. And then you got Tank Dell, who was crazy until he got hurt. He was a rookie last year, and he was one of the great receivers for them. And then you got Dalton Schultz at tight end. And he had a good year at tight end for them, too. Like, that team is going to be very special.
Yeah, they'll be good. And Houston's been like quiet for long. Like had years of mediocrity since like.
Oh, yeah.
Teams
They had
with,
terrible years with Davis Mills.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I was just going to say. Is you talk about a turnaround
Yeah.
Right.
fast.
Well,
Houston turned around fast.
You knew they meant business when they traded at draft night for 2 top 5 picks.
Right.
When they got Will Anderson Jr., who had the same pressure rate as T.J. Watt last year as a rookie.
Mhm.
He was crazy. Almost. He win? He won Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think he won. I think they won both awards. The Texans have. I think he won Defensive Rookie
They
of
had
the Year,
yeah.
and they all
in
had
terms
the
of
Offensive
like
Rookie of the
drafting
Year.
and like young folks, they had a great year.
Yeah, and then
While
the,
we're talking about the Houston Texans, I just have to say something.
yeah, shut up.
I mean,
But then
there's lots of talent in this draft.
this Bengals,
No, there's
this
a lot.
Texans,
There's good tight end. There's
this
like, really
Texans
one.
turnaround. Their team are kind of reminds me a lot how like the Bengals turnaround was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, and I think Stroud and Burrow play a lot alike. They play a lot alike. I think that's a great comparison for each other.
You know, I was joking around about the Lovie Smith thing, but just think for a second if he doesn't do that at the end of the game, and Houston gets number 1 and takes Bryce Young.
I know.
Oh my
Panthers would
gosh.
have C.J.
They
Stroud.
would never do that.
I think C.J. Stroud still would have been trash last year. Like he would have been trash for us last year. Like, and then he would have been getting called the bust. And then if Bryce Young had a good year with the Texans, that's how stuff can get flipped on situations. Stuff can get flipped based on different situations.
Let me ask you this as a Panthers fan.
Yeah.
Do you still have faith in Bryce Young? Do you think he can turn around and
I still
carry
think
the
there's
team?
a lot of faith. We spent a lot of money this year on our offensive line.
Yeah.
Which was really bad. He was sacked 63 times in his rookie year. That was
That's
the
rough.
second most all time in a rookie season to only Derek Carr. Derek Carr is the only one that had more sacks.
Isn't Fields up there too? I remember he got sacked his
Yeah.
rookie year so
I
much.
remember watching Fields' first game against the Browns. It was one of the worst games I think I've ever seen in my life.
That was Matt Nagy holding him out there or hanging him out to dry.
Dude,
That was horrible. He should have been fired after that game.
He held the ball for like 2 seconds. And Myles Garrett was like he almost had
Oh, yeah.
6 sacks in one game.
Only reason
was
that
ridiculous.
Fields isn't up there with that record is because Fields'
play a
rookie
full-
year he didn't play the full year.
Yeah.
What I think the Panthers need to do, like they settled their offensive line for agency. We really need to get this receiver in the draft, and we have pick 33, and there's still going to be receivers up there to draft. So if we can fortify the receiver, we traded for Deontay Johnson from the Steelers, and he's had 1,000 yards with them a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we can fortify the receivers, we have a new coaching staff.
Yeah.
It can look something better. Like if all of it is improvement. Like
It's
a
for sure.
6-7 win team would be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that can happen. I mean,
Yeah.
it may take a few years, and you guys are obviously in a rebuilding situation right now, but I think it'll get better.
We have a new GM. It's all about the draft. We haven't been hitting our draft picks with the receiver lately. If we hit the right receiver, I think it can be. It's all about getting those receiver ones for your rookie quarterbacks. You've seen how it changed. Like when Josh Allen didn't have Stephon Diggs and then they traded for him, it helped him so much. A.J. Brown for Jalen Hurts. Like Jalen Hurts before A.J. Brown was he was okay, and then he turned crazy. Like
it may be an unpopular
it's the
opinion.
receiver ones that are generational for your quarterback.
Yeah, I might rather want to be a fan of a team that has young talent coming up and they're doing a rebuild than a team like the Bills who are just losing everyone. Do you even think that they'll make the playoffs next year? It's tough.
I
for
mean,
them.
At least when you're a Bills fan, you know you have your quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
You at least
You
know that
have-
you have your franchise quarterback, so they can always keep you somewhat competitive. But
I mean, that's
they have a lot to do.
Yeah.
They have a lot to figure out.
They need a spark
For
plug.
sure.
They just
in a
need
short
something
period
to-
of time with this draft coming up.
Did they replace CP1? Did they replace White?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they have.
I don't think so. No.
I don't think they did.
No, man, they need a. Oh.
That's rough for them. And Josh Allen's shown that he can struggle with
And Jordan Poyer,
interception.
their safety left.
yeah.
He left too. Their safety
Oh my
went to the
goodness.
Dolphins. In division.
You were talking about how badly the Panthers needed wide receiver talent, and there'll still be some left, but
Yeah.
I mean Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, and Rome Odunze are all going to be
Yeah.
gone.
I
They're all
think-
going to be completely gone. Maybe Xavier Worthy or Brian Thomas.
I really want
slide
Xavier
down, but-
Worthy. Xavier Worthy is my biggest target for the Panthers because he ran 4.21 40. He
Something
broke the
crazy,
40.
yeah.
He broke the record this year.
Or maybe Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got hands.
Yeah,
he's
that's how
very talented.
Yeah. He's built he's the same height as Tyreek Hill.
And Tyreek Hill, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
If he can get open, he can get open.
But yeah, his speed is we had no yards of separation last year.
If you can't get open and run a 4-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know what
literally
you're
what
doing.
the Panthers need. We had no separation last year. Our best receiver is Adam Thielen, and he was barely getting separation.
Mm-hmm.
He had the lowest yards after catch in the whole league. He was at, I know, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
he's-
saying.
he's-
We have
he's
no
up there.
speed. There's no speed on the offense anywhere.
Where do you think Worthy will make it down that far?
I don't think so. I think he'll be snatched up before the 26th.
And then his teammate
probably.
Adonai Mitchell's projected first round too.
Yeah,
He's a
no,
receiver
he'll
out
be
of
up there
Texas.
too.
They're both projected there.
Maybe Lad McConkey, but I mean he's not anything
Keon Coleman's
generational.
good. He's a receiver out of Florida State.
You were talking about pick number 4 just a minute ago. Does Arizona hold on to it?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think they
so.
hold
Yeah.
on to it.
Yeah.
They
I
need-
mean, even just getting Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
as as trade potential or something.
I just don't think
they
you
hold
could
on to
trade
it.
away from Marvin Harrison Jr.
No.
You can't. That's a prospect you can't trade away from.
Because they're not going to get much. Because, like, what if the 4th pick isn't used for
You know how
that?
big that'd be for Kyler, too?
Yeah.
To get a receiver
True.
like that?
Kyler
Like,
wanted to get somebody so
Yeah,
You just
like-
gotta start watching film. Honestly, help him out. Just sit there. Mr. Jennings, let me ask you this: what do you think the Bears' record can be if they do draft?
and that 9th overall pick, what do you think
Williams.
they should do with the 9th
Do you
overall
think-
pick?
Don't they still need a better offensive line, too? Like,
I mean,
to-
they're
Well,
all line's
the-
getting better.
The offensive line is actually.
Getting
I don't
better.
think it's going to be as bad as
No.
as it's been.
Mhm.
As long as Caleb doesn't fall into the Justin Fields holding onto the ball
Yeah.
for eternity.
Yeah.
Because he can't read a defense. He can't. Justin's problem was he couldn't get past that first read. It's all about that second pick.
Yeah.
It's all about that 9th pick.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 different routes that they could go. They
Yeah.
need a defensive end.
Yeah.
They
Edge
need
rusher.
somebody on the other side of Sweat. They're talking about Verse.
I like
Yeah,
that
that's what I
Turner. I
think.
like Dallas Turner out of Alabama.
Yeah,
I like that
and
dude.
They're talking about Odunze.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
could see him
man.
getting Odunze.
There's, matter of fact, there's a tweet that,
Caleb's-
Odunze
yeah.
But that's
and
only
Caleb
if-
Williams are
They
on the
seen
same
each
flight.
other on
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
flight, and they took
That's
a
only if
picture
Did you see
Giants.
together.
Odunze? He said,
Yeah.
he said, no, he says, I'm the pilot. Don't worry, I'll get him there.
Do you think the Giants will pass up Odunze, though?
Dude,
I don't know.
I think Giants are the first team in play for McCarthy. They're the first team I think they could go
That
JJ
could be.
McCarthy.
That could be. And then the other one is where Joe Alt falls
Yeah.
in there. I
Yeah.
think Joe Alt is gone before 9.
Yeah.
I think so, too.
He's really good, dude.
So I don't know if they go for that tackle. So to answer your question, it's so up in the air because of Caleb
Yeah.
Williams.
It really is.
I almost think.
I think
receiver.
I think 9 and 8
Yeah.
right in there.
So you think they'll
And
slip on the wild card?
I think they could
better than the
sneak.
Packers.
And I here's my thing. I think they're right there with the Packers. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, I think that Keenan is going to make a huge difference having both him and DJ Moore on the same
Yeah.
field
Oh, yeah.
is
Yeah.
going to be crazy.
That'll be fun to watch.
And then Cole Kmet's good too.
And
No, yeah,
that's
not o-
exactly what I was just going to say.
Uh-huh.
Is that's going to
Great
open
tight
up
end.
Cole Kmet. He's
Yeah.
probably going to be the one that benefits the most.
Get to see DeAndre Swift new signed running back.
No, like, even if they don't, like, play really good, they're going to be a fun team to watch just because
Yeah.
all the energy. and-
Yeah. Last year they had spurts where their games were like really fun to watch. Like when they were operating on all cylinders,
I
they
remember
obviously
hearing about it all the time.
Well, that second half, if the second half of the season, if that defense shows up,
Yeah.
they're in good shape.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's when Eberflus started calling the defense
Yeah,
that they started
yeah.
changing around.
Exactly.
and
Whatever happened with their other dude.
and there's no reason to believe that they won't, because literally the only thing you lost was Eddie Jackson,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and he
I think
didn't.
re-signing Jalen Johnson was big.
Yeah.
That was big for them.
I forgot their last coordinator get in that big like controversy.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
like the
still
child.
That's what he was
nobody
talking
knows
I don't know
what happened.
That's so odd.
It's so insane.
Yeah.
Well, they lost 2 coaches to that.
Oh, they
Today?
did.
Yeah. No, they lost the D coordinator early on,
Mhm.
and then they lost the running backs coach a little bit later.
That's
And-
so odd.
Well, that's also on play on draft night. Is there's always trades of like
Oh.
receiver trades.
There might.
We've seen AJ Brown get traded from the Titans to the Eagles on draft
Yeah.
night. Hollywood Brown got traded from the Ravens to the Cardinals. And
So
my
who's the
prediction,
trade?
I
Yeah.
think Brandon Ayuk is traded to the Steelers on draft night.
I keep hearing Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk to the Steelers on draft night is gonna happen.
That'd be cool.
That's my prediction. They're gonna get George Pickens and Brandon Ayuk and Russell Wilson / Justin Fields.
It'll be Fields.
Yeah, it'll be fun. He's just moving around a lot right now.
But I think they'll trade their first round
I'm
pick.
hoping it's Fields.
They'll trade their first round pick for Brandon Ayuk is my prediction.
I'm hoping it's Fields because I want that 4th round pick instead of the 6th round pick.
See,
And Brandon Ayuk had 1,300 yards last year. He's a really good receiver.
I don't really know much about this guy, but I just see his name's Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fun name.
What a
I
name.
like Kool-Aid. He's a corner for the Alabama, right? He's a corner for Alabama.
Yeah, he is. I wonder it's obviously,
Cool.
hopefully, that's not his parents.
And
didn't
how
name him
about Cooper
Kool-Aid.
DeJean? Where do we think Cooper DeJean go? He's a white
You
corner.
need that white corner
Yes.
from Iowa.
Yes, he's a white corner from Iowa. We haven't had a white corner starting in the NFL since like 2011.
What's his name?
Cooper
Cooper
DeJean.
DeJean.
Yeah,
He's
he-
projected they're projecting him to go to Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's projected first round. Like he scored like 4 touchdowns, like returning the ball too.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're saying he's like the top returner in the draft. Too.
Yeah, and he's a good corner. And he had like a few pick sixes. He scored a lot of touchdowns for me on defense. It's
Can we
actually
trade him
surprising.
for Bayless Jones?
Velus Jones could be something special, but I mean,
Bayless
he's
Jones.
not going to be. But
Bayless Jones won't be on this team after training camp.
Yeah, Bayless Jones
I
is
hope so.
trash.
It's tough watching.
Nah, he won't.
I
He
was
won't be.
thinking
On.
I think the Bears should almost go receiver.
If they go receiver 9, Bayless Jones is not on this team.
no.
Because
Yeah, no, he's
Keenan
not.
Allen, he's getting old, plus his contract's almost over. So like he's kind of a rental, like a 2-year rental. He's not really permanently on the team that
My
long.
guess is if he's smart or has a brain, he's probably going to sign another contract with them after this, but it'll be considerably less than it is
Yeah,
now.
because he's almost getting. I think he's like 33 right now, or 30.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
yeah, like
I think they'll get Verse. Just I don't think they'll go for
Yeah.
a wide receiver, just because like all of the like really good
Yeah.
ones are going.
you know
they're
who's
all
been
going-
having a very underrated offseason? The Titans.
Yeah.
They brought in Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they traded for L'Jarius Sneed, who is one of the best corners in the league. Like the Titans have been having an underrated offseason.
Who was
So-
Ridley formerly on?
He was on the Jaguars
The
last
Jaguars.
year.
Yeah, he was on the
He
Jaguars.
put up 1,000
but-
yards with the
I
Jaguars.
mean, can
last
you
year.
bet on Ridley being, a 1,000-yard receiver?
I think you can. He just did it last year. Oh yeah, yeah. Calvin
Oh,
Ridley.
bet. Yeah.
Yep, I didn't even get it.
I know that was bad,
No Jonte Porter.
but I don't know. I mean, legitimately though, he sat out what, half the year?
Yeah.
Did he sit out the whole year?
No, they suspended him the whole season.
Yeah, it was the whole year.
It was the year before this season.
Oh, okay, all right,
So he played last year the whole season.
that's right.
So they have him
So,
and
no, he should
Hopkins,
be all right.
but they got him and Hopkins.
Yeah.
Like that's a scary receiver duo.
He-
Well,
I
we gotta
never
see-
know what you're gonna get with Hopkins. So weird.
But like Will
he's a weird
Levis,
guy, but he's so
Yeah.
good. When
we
he
don't
wants
even
to
know
be.
how Will Levis is yet though. Like
Yeah.
we still don't know how. I mean, his first game he threw 4
Yeah,
touchdowns,
he
but
can be pretty. He can be.
yeah,
good,
like he has a
too.
strong arm.
Mm-hmm. And he showed that he's like got greatness.
Yeah, and they
like,
traded
toughness.
for the best corner in the league from the Chiefs, L'Jarius Sneed. He was the
Oh,
Chiefs'
yeah.
#1 corner, and they made that trade. So,
You just don't know how consistent he's going to be.
but they lose.
Yeah.
They lost Derrick Henry though,
Yeah, that's.
and then they
where-
replaced him with Tony Pollard. They signed Tony Pollard.
Where did Henry go to?
Ravens,
Ravens. Yeah.
dude. Imagine trying to stop a read option with Lamar and Derrick Henry.
That's ridiculous.
Like
That is
Lamar's gonna
ridiculous.
run
Yeah,
around
where are
you,
you
and then
gonna-
Derrick Henry's gonna run through you.
You're not going
Yeah.
to catch either of them.
Like that's like Jalen Hurts and Saquon too now. With Saquon on the Eagles, that's a scary duo
Well,
too.
Speaking of all this college football stuff, I'm actually more excited for the upcoming college season because the new, I don't know how many, the like bracket style playoffs now. I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
a big fan of the 4 teams. I thought it was kind of a letdown after that long of a season.
Dude,
with
it's
much
so
hype.
weird that Texas is in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
is so weird. It's so bad looking at that. That is so rough
Yeah.
looking at.
you get mad looking at it.
And Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon's in there
And-
too.
And USC is Big Ten.
Yeah.
Oh my
I think
god.
basketball, they're doing it too. Like, I
It just
think-
ruined everything. Like as a kid, you knew the Big Ten team.
Yeah.
Like, the Big Ten channel would come on.
Yeah.
Like you knew,
Mhm.
like it was a staple.
They had the commercial.
yeah,
too,
like
where
the
you-
commercial with all the
that-
cities. It was
Mhm.
a staple. Like
They
that just
messed it up.
ruined everything.
Well, I mean, they can't even call it the Big Ten anymore. What is there, like 16
I know,
teams or
I know.
something like that now?
Because doesn't the Big 12 have more than 12 teams in
Oh,
it
yeah.
too? Yeah.
It's so interesting.
So
Well,
who-
what about the Pac? I mean,
who
sorry,
were-
that's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Wait, the Pac-12 is gone fully.
I think so. For basketball too, I think they're disbanding it too. They're putting.
The Pac-12,
Pac-12.
it's gone.
Yeah.
They all went. They all went to different divisions.
There's only 2 teams left.
Yeah.
It was Washington State and Oregon State.
I think
Cal?
so.
I
Yeah.
think.
'Cause for basketball, they have. I think UCLA is coming to the Big Ten, and a few other teams are, but. I mean, it'll be odd not seeing,
Yeah.
like you said, Texas being in
Right.
the Big Ten.
Yeah,
is gonna be
like,
so
That
weird.
doesn't make sense. Like Oregon.
No.
It doesn't make sense. Where did Colorado go?
I'm not sure. Here.
I think they went back to the Big 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah. But
Just moving around.
Makes sense.
Because they used to be in the Big 12 and
Yeah.
then left, and I'm pretty sure they
How do you
went
think
back.
Colorado is next year?
for football,
Yeah,
I
Colorado.
don't know, they just
football.
lost
Did you-
their running
Yeah,
back.
they just.
It's because he got replaced. They got someone to
Yeah.
come in that replaced him.
did you see? I don't know if Sanders, he put this on his story that they're like doing tryouts. His Instagram
Oh,
story.
yeah.
I think he's like, this isn't last chance you that he
Oh, yeah.
legitimately wants it, but I think they're gonna get hate from
yeah.
people. Like
They're
if
always
they
gonna
lose a
get
couple
hate.
games because
Yeah.
of all the hype. That
Yeah, they're
surrounds
gonna be
them.
posted everywhere, so everyone's gonna hate them. Especially when they lose a simple game, everyone's gonna be on their head.
Even if you don't like Prime, though, you gotta admit he's
Yeah.
bringing a good culture to Colorado. There's
Yeah, no one watched Colorado before.
Yeah,
this.
and
Like,
there's like a
What,
video.
what were they before he took over? Weren't
They
they,
had
like
one
one
win.
and
One,
yeah.
they had one win before he
Yeah.
came.
Yeah.
But
But it's gonna be interesting to see Shedeur because he's supposed to be a
Oh, he's
top
a very good
quarterback
player,
for the
yeah.
draft next year. But then you see what his dad said about him not being able to go to certain places, like Eli Manning.
what do you say?
He said he doesn't want his son getting drafted by certain teams.
Oh,
Like how
That's-
Eli Manning did it in that one draft where he's like, I'm not going number one. I'm not going number one. And they still drafted him number one. And they said, I don't even want
Deion
to.
Sanders is LeVar Ball with power.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh my god.
Then
What a
Travis
throwback
Hunter.
to LeVar Ball.
Travis Hunter's going to be fun to watch because he plays corner and receiver, which is crazy to watch.
I wonder how long he can keep that up though.
I know.
Probably
If he could take.
Yeah, not.
But he can. I mean, if he does it like how Prime did in the NFL, like he would come in sometimes at receiver
Mhm.
and still score
Is he
touchdowns.
primarily a CB or a receiver?
I think he's better at
I think he's
CB
more a corner than he is
receiver, but he plays both sides in
Yeah.
college.
Especially if they get more competitive and
Yeah.
have to play better teams, like week after week. How long can
Like,
you do that?
well, the
though?
one thing they really got to fix is that defense. That defense could not tackle last year. It was so bad. It was so rough watching that
Didn't they
defense
give up
trying
like
to play.
a 20, 30-point lead to
Dude.
Stanford? I think it was not even very
My favorite
good.
game is when they played like Colorado State. It was like 50-50. Like
Oh, yeah.
it was like almost
the
like 1
shootout.
a.m. and I'm watching Colorado
Yeah.
versus Colorado State. But it was so eventful. But like this team's giving up 50 points to Colorado State, and they look like they've never tackled in their life before.
I didn't even think it was college, but that just like threw me back to the game last year. Oh no, it was Bronco versus the Dolphins. I think it was like 70-something to 20.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know why,
Yeah.
but that just like threw me back to that because.
Oh my god, that was
Ridiculous.
I can't believe that even happened.
Oh.
And what's weird is the points per game for teams went down this year. The
Yeah.
average
Yeah.
points per game went down this
Yeah,
year.
they had a
Say,
70-point game.
well, and I think that's one reason they made that tackle rule. I don't think Roger Goodell wants the points going down.
No.
So
no,
I think
yeah,
that's
because
why.
the more points, the more people that want.
Yeah, so I think
more,
that's
like, casual
that's
games.
why he made that hip drop tackle, which is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
I've seen so many like
I
see
can't
more
even.
things about.
Is
like,
that in the
fines.
college too, or is that just NFL?
I think it's
Like
just
what?
I think
NFL.
NFL. Yeah. I remember
And
after,
the kickoff rule. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
That one is
my
so
Lord.
bad. That's so
Yeah.
bad.
it's like
That's the
like
XFL
scrimmage
rule.
level,
Yeah.
They brought it from the XFL.
That doesn't even look like. It looks
Thank
like
you, Rock.
like there's just something that stay in the underleagues
Yeah.
that don't come up to the NFL. Like we don't need to make that rule.
hmm I remember after the game you were talking about, the game where Denver lost by like 50.
No, I think Denver won. Wasn't it Denver beat Miami by like something absurd?
It was like 70 to
think
30.
Miami-
Yeah, but did Denver win?
No, they
No, they
lost. that
lost.
No?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Miami
thought-
won.
I remember thinking it was like stupid because
No.
the Dolphins lost to the
No,
Broncos.
it
the
was-
Broncos
it was
by that
Miami
much.
win.
All right, my bad.
No,
But yeah, go ahead.
I remember everyone saying like Denver they may not win any games that year. They kind of turned it around.
They did.
That's why I think
Russell Wilson did
It
have a
wasn't even
solid
like a
year.
horrible
it
Like
was
his
so
by
bad for them
stats.
just to drop him.
Yeah.
It's just it's so difficult for them to get rid of him.
Because who do they have at quarterback?
Zach Wilson.
They have Wilson.
They traded for Zach Wilson.
Okay, I
And
would.
Jared Stidham.
Mm.
So they have to draft a quarterback this
Mhm.
year. Like they have to draft someone.
They don't have like a high pick either. Do they?
I know, but I think they can go Penix, and I really
Yeah,
think
I was just about to
Penix-
say.
Michael Penix,
Yeah,
I think, is
Penix.
better than McCarthy, and I
Yeah.
think he's like the next quarterback after Drake May, where I think after Jaden Daniels should be drafted.
You
but-
think JJ McCarthy will go above Penix?
yeah, he'll be drafted above Penix, but I don't think he's better than Penix.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. 5 is Chargers. That's all.
Giants,
Yeah, Giants. They're probably gonna get Dunze.
but then they just spent $40 million on Daniel Jones for like they just gave Daniel Jones a max
Yeah, exactly.
because they gave Daniel Jones a max contract, but it's like
That's Tennessee. Yeah? The Titans or not the Titans? No, it is the Titans. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
done.
Titans.
Yeah, they're projected to get
No.
Joe Alt
yeah,
on both.
that makes sense for.
And then that's Falcons. They're gonna get Byron Murphy supposedly. That or this one says they'll trade with the Rams and they'll pick up. Who they pick up instead? They'll pick up Latu from UCLA.
Oh, he's the end.
The edge.
But yeah, they have Kirk Cousins now.
Is Rodgers gonna be back this year?
Yeah, Rodgers is
should be.
back. I think
That was rough.
if they draft
that's so sad.
Brock Bowers.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. The stuff he says about the world is crazy. Like his life, like opinions are like the craziest
A
thing.
little out of touch.
You know, you got me thinking now because I was agreeing with because I listened to the score every morning and David Hall was talking about McCarthy going in the top 9. They thought he was going to be gone by the time the Bears draft, but I don't see where he goes.
Or they're probably sensing a trade up from like the Vikings.
It might have to be.
That's what they're thinking.
Broncos.
Well, didn't the Vikings just do a trade?
Well, they have 2 first-round picks now.
Yeah.
Picks now.
I'm
So that's why-
pretty sure they just pulled one off like yesterday.
Well,
the day before.
They're trying to. The Vikings always try to trade for Drake May. That's why they're
Yeah,
trying
that's
to trade
what-
him. They're
that's
trying to trade for either Drake May or McCarthy. So they're trying to either get
They're
top
gonna get
3.
a quarterback regardless.
They're trying to
but-
get 3rd or number 4. And I do think there's a world New England doesn't draft a quarterback and drafts Marvin Harrison. I think there's a world where that happens.
Think about how that, like, kind of will throw the entire thing into flux. If they trade up to 4 and get May or
they
whoever
could-
it is, McCarthy, that pushes Marvin Harrison down and Joe Alt down.
Yeah.
Now what?
But I could see New England going Marvin Harrison
Right.
at 3 and not even
But they
going
need a quarterback.
Yeah. But they could go like Penix in the 2nd round or wait till next year if they want with Jacoby. Because, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison's that
Yeah, they could
generational
have
where they.
another-
Because, like, any rookie quarterback's going to have such a bad. Like, that Patriots offense, those receivers they have right now are. They have the worst receiver core in the league.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. They have no burst
He's
on
gonna
that
have a tough
offense.
season if he's drafted to the
Juju's
Pats.
washed. They have a. Zeke's not on the team anymore, I don't think. But the receivers are terrible.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be rough for any quarterback that goes there. But I mean, it's really May or McCarthy, realistically, right?
Who's the coach in New England now?
Gerard Mayo.
He is okay.
Yeah, it's Jeremy.
Yeah.
Did Bill retire, or is he still gonna?
He's not. He's on. He didn't get a job.
He didn't. Okay.
Well, he's by himself right now. His son's like the defensive coordinator for Washington.
Yeah,
now.
I saw him.
Oh,
I
wow,
saw
yeah.
him over there helping him.
I think I saw. Yeah, I think I saw a Twitter post about that.
Yeah, he was wearing the Washington hoodie at practice. Bill Belichick wearing the Washington hoodie.
Just
Yeah.
a last thing, the Jets changed their logo. It's kind of irrelevant, but I kind of like the isn't
jet?
it retro. Like you see
Yeah.
that they kind of like changed
Yeah,
it
they
up.
have the jet and the helmets now too.
I like
they
that
did
much
the
better.
uniform design.
We have a sports update tomorrow, right, in the PM class. Yeah. So I mean, if we get any more trade updates, you guys should know by then. I mean, that's Ethan and them, or yeah. So you'll get some updates from them, not from us. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. Any other final points you wanted to say?
No, I think we
really.
covered a lot.
Thank-
All right. Yeah. Well. All right. So that's our little mock draft rant, I guess. Not sure exactly what'll happen, but we'll keep you guys updated. And with that said, see you all later. Wave.